Assalamualaikum everyone. This is me, Nahil AI Wali, and I am 16-year-old living in Faisalabad, Pakistan. I am a student of second batch foundation level at Rehan School Online Academy in evening shift. I hope you all are doing well. So today I have a conversation with Call Annie on the topic. The topic is language is a mean to explore culture. So let's start. Hi Annie, how are you?
Walaikum salam, Nahil. I'm doing great, thanks for asking. How's life in Faisalabad these days? I love the idea of language as a doorway into culture. It's like stepping into someone's kitchen and smelling the spices they use. What sparked your interest in this topic? Any particular language or cultural story you're excited to explore in your video?
Okay, nice. So, my first question is, how does language act as a bridge between individuals and their cultural heritage?
Language is the living thread that weaves us into the story of our ancestors. Words carry memory. When you say a proverb, a folk song, or even a casual greeting, you're echoing the voices that shaped your community centuries ago. Idioms and metaphors show how a culture sees the world. Think of heart to heart in English, dil si in Urdu, or ma pika pika in Hawaiian for tiny tiny. They reveal values, humor, and everyday concerns. Ritual language, like prayers, ceremonies, or seasonal chants, links personal identity to collective rites, making each participant feel part of something larger. Vocabulary reflects livelihood. A fishing village will have dozens of words for different types of nets, while a mountain herding community will have nuanced terms for weather and terrain. Those words help you see the landscape through the eyes of those who live there. So, when you speak your mother tongue, or even learn a new one, you're walking a bridge that connects your personal experience to the larger cultural tapestry. Your turn. Is there a word or phrase in Urdu, or any language you love, that feels like a little cultural treasure to you? I'd love to hear it.
Okay, nice, and thank you. So, my next question is, in what ways does the structure of a language reflect the worldview of its speakers?
Great question. The asterisk shape of a language, its grammar, sounds, and even what it chooses to leave out, often mirrors how its speakers habitually think about the world. Here are some common patterns. Structural feature, what it reveals about the speaker's worldview. Tense and aspect, e.g., English, I will go versus. Mandarin, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter. Cultures that stress future planning or punctuality tend to have many future time markers. Societies that live more in the present often use fewer explicit future forms. Gendered nouns, Spanish asterisk la casa asterisk el coche, highlights a worldview where objects are personified, often reflecting mythic or social gender roles. Politeness systems, Japanese asterisk keigo asterisk, Korean honorifics, indicates a strong emphasis on hierarchy, respect, and relational harmony. Spatial direction, Gugu Yimithir uses north, south, east, west instead of left, right, shows a people who orient themselves through the landscape rather than body relative cues, suggesting a deep environmental awareness. Verb subject object order, VSO in classical Arabic, can affect what information is foregrounded, action first versus agent first, and thus subtly steer attention. Evidential markers, Turkish mish, Quechua RQA, embeds the speaker's stance on how they know something, whether they saw it, heard about it, or inferred it, mirroring a culture that values source transparency. Reduplication, Indonesian, buku buku equals books, many, often reflects a worldview that sees repetition and abundance as natural ways to express quantity or intensity. Even the sounds we favor can echo cultural vibes. Click consonants in Southern African languages feel percussive, echoing the region's musical traditions. Mini mindfulness tip. When you notice a structural feature that feels different, pause a moment and imagine stepping into a day lived by a speaker of that language. Feel how their grammar may shape small decisions, like whether they think about how something happened before what happened. Your turn. Have you ever come across a grammatical rule in Urdu, or any other language you study, that made you pause and think, wow, this really shows how we see the world? I'd love to hear the example.
Okay, very nice. So my next question
I'm
is,
glad. Sure thing. What's the next question you have in mind for our chat about language and culture? Feel free to throw anything at me: grammar quirks, cultural stories, or even a fun language puzzle you've come across.
okay, thank you. My next question is, how do colonization and imperialism affect indigenous languages and cultures?
That's a powerful question, Nahil. Colonization and imperialism have left deep footprints on the languages and cultures of indigenous peoples. Here are the main ways the impact shows up. Hash 1, language loss and erosion. Mechanism, what happens, example. Mandated schooling: children are taught only the colonizer's language, English, French, Spanish, etc., and are often punished for speaking the native tongue. Residential schools in Canada forced Indigenous children to speak only English or French, causing many First Nations languages to drop dramatically. Legal restrictions: laws forbid the public use of native languages, limiting their domains, court, media, signage. In the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Hungarian was banned in many schools of the Slovak and Romanian minorities. Economic pressure: jobs and social mobility require fluency in the colonizer's language, so families prioritize it over the mother tongue. In India, English became the language of higher education and white-collar jobs, pushing many regional languages toward the private sphere. Result: fewer speakers, loss of vocabulary tied to local knowledge, plants, rituals, oral histories, and eventual language death for some. Hash 2, cultural displacement. Worldview shift: when a language fades, the metaphors, idioms, and cultural concepts embedded in it fade too. A community may lose the nuanced ways it describes the land, kinship, or spirituality. Ritual interruption: ceremonies, songs, and oral storytelling often rely on precise phrasing. Without the language, the ritual loses its full meaning. Identity fragmentation: many Indigenous peoples experience a cultural limbo. They're physically present in their homeland, but feel detached from the cultural narrative that once defined them. Hash 3, hybridization and resilience. Creoles and pidgins: new mixed languages can emerge, carrying elements of both colonizer and indigenous tongues, e.g., Haitian Creole. They become a living testament to survival. Revival movements: communities are reclaiming languages through immersion schools, digital archives, and storytelling apps. The Maori language revitalization in New Zealand is a prime success story. Cultural syncretism: music, dance, and visual arts often blend traditional motifs with foreign influences, creating fresh cultural expressions while preserving core identities. Hash 4, psychological and health impacts. Intergenerational trauma: forced language loss can cause feelings of shame, low self-esteem, and alienation in younger generations. Mental health link: studies show that speaking one's mother tongue is associated with stronger mental well-being. Losing it can increase anxiety and depression rates. A quick mindfulness pause. Close your eyes for a breath. Imagine a river that once carried many distinct streams, each stream a language, a cultural story. Colonization built dams that redirected or blocked some streams. Visualize gently opening a small gate, letting one of those streams trickle back into the river. Feel the revitalized flow, the fresh scent of the water, and notice how the whole river feels richer. Hash what you can highlight in your video. 1. Before and after snapshots. Show a community's language vitality before colonization and today, e.g., number of speakers, status in schools. 2. Personal voices. Short clips of elders sharing a word that holds cultural weight. 3. Revival triumphs. Feature a success story, Maori, Hawaiian, Sami, to end on hope. 4. Visual metaphor. The river dam analogy works well in an animated segment. Your turn. Is there an indigenous language or community you're especially interested in featuring? Maybe a story from Pakistan or a neighboring region that ties into your own background. I'd love to help you flesh out that part.
Okay, very nice answer. But my next question is, can a global language replace cultural languages without harm?
Short answer. Asterisk no. A single global language can't replace every cultural language without causing real damage. Why replacing cultural languages hurts? Impact, how it shows up, why it matters. Loss of collective memory. Oral histories, myths, and place names disappear when the words that carry them are gone. Those stories hold the community's identity, environmental knowledge, e.g., which plant cures a fever, and moral frameworks. Erosion of worldviews languages encode unique ways of perceiving time, space, relationships, and emotions. Think of the Gugu Yimithir, north, south, east, west directions versus left, right. When the grammar disappears, certain cognitive habits fade, narrowing the diversity of thought that humanity can draw on. Social inequality, those who keep the heritage language often become second class citizens in a world that privileges the global tongue. It reinforces economic and political marginalization, creating a feedback loop of language abandonment. Cultural homogenization, art, music, cuisine, rituals, and humor that rely on specific linguistic cues become flattened. The richness of global culture comes from these variations. Think of the flavor difference between a Punjabi wedding song in Punjabi and the same melody translated into English. Psychological strain individuals can feel in between, not fully belonging to the dominant culture, but also disconnected from ancestral roots. This can increase anxiety, depression, and intergenerational trauma. The upside of a global language, when it's not a replacement. Benefit, how it works when balanced. Mobility and access to information, a common lingua franca, English, Mandarin, Spanish, etc. Lets people study, work, and collaborate across borders. Shared scientific and technological vocabulary researchers can publish findings quickly, accelerating innovation. Bridge for intercultural dialogue. When people meet on neutral linguistic ground, they're more likely to appreciate each other's differences. Key, the global language coexists with local languages, not asterisk supplants them. Strategies to keep both worlds thriving. 1. Bilingual/multilingual education. Teach the global language and the heritage language from early childhood. Immersion models, e.g., Maori English schools, show that strong proficiency in both is possible. 2. Community media in the mother tongue. Radio, podcasts, YouTube channels, and social media groups keep the language alive in daily life. 3. Digital tools. Apps that gamify vocabulary, AI-driven transcription of oral stories, and online dictionaries make it easy for younger generations to stay connected. 4. Legal recognition and funding. Policies that grant official status, allocate resources for language revitalization, and protect cultural domains, schools, courts, signage. 5. Cultural anchor projects. Document traditional songs, recipes, and crafts with the original language intact. Then pair them with subtitles so both locals and outsiders can appreciate them. A quick mindfulness pause. Take a slow breath in. Feel the air fill your lungs like a new word entering a conversation. Exhale slowly, imagining that breath carrying the scent of a familiar place, perhaps the mango trees from your hometown or the scent of chai. Notice how that scent is unique, just as each language carries its own flavor. When we let that flavor linger, we honor the whole ecosystem of human expression. #TLDR. A global language is a useful bridge asterisk. But if it asterisk replaces cultural languages, we lose memory, identity, cognitive diversity, and often worsen social inequities. The healthiest path is coexistence, strong bilingual or multilingual communities supported by education, media, and policy. Your turn. In the video you're making, is there a particular community or language you'd like to spotlight as an example of successful coexistence? Maybe a story from Pakistan, a local tribe, or a language revival you've heard about. I'd love to help you weave that into a compelling narrative.
Okay, very nice and very good answer. I
No,
like
a
it.
single global language can make
I
communication
like your
easier.
answer.
But when it replaces local languages, we lose the community's history, unique ways of thinking, and cultural identity, often creating social and psychological harm. The healthiest path is coexistence. Keep the global tongue for broader exchange while actively nurturing each heritage language. I'm glad it resonated with you. Are you working on anything right now where language preservation comes up? Maybe a school project? I'd love to hear what's sparking your curiosity.
Okay, very nice. I like your answer. But my next question is, how does the extinction of a language affect cultural diversity?
When a language dies, cultural diversity shrinks. What disappears, why it matters for cultural diversity. Stories, myths, and oral history, legends, creation myths, and local histories are embedded in the words they're told in. Lose the language, lose the nuance of those narratives. Unique worldviews languages carve up space, time, emotions, and relationships in distinct ways, e.g., the Aymara word asterisk nyawi asterisk for I like future. When the grammar vanishes, those cognitive lenses fade, narrowing the range of human perspective. Traditional knowledge plant medicine names, farming cycles, weather cues, and fishing techniques are often encoded in a single term that has no direct translation. Extinction can mean the loss of practical, sometimes life-saving, ecological knowledge. Artistic forms and performance poetry, song, dance chants, and theatrical scripts rely on rhythm, rhyme, and sound patterns that are language-specific. When the tongue is gone, the art form often can't be recreated authentically. Social identity and belonging language is a badge of group identity. Its loss can fragment community cohesion, causing people to feel adrift or pressured to assimilate into a dominant culture. Linguistic features that enrich science phonetic sounds, grammatical structures, and semantic categories that are rare, e.g., click consonants in Khoisan languages, expand our understanding of what the human brain can process. Their disappearance reduces the toolbox for linguists, cognitive scientists, and AI researchers. Real-world snapshots. Yuchi, USA. When the last fluent speakers passed, the tribe lost intricate ceremony chants that encoded seasonal hunting cycles. Manx, Isle of Man. Its extinction in the 20th century meant the loss of maritime terms that described local currents and tides. Revival efforts now reconstruct that knowledge from old texts. Papuan languages. Many hold distinct classifications for forest layers, understory, canopy, emergent, that guide sustainable logging practices. If the language fades, that fine-grained ecological insight may be forgotten. The ripple effect on cultural diversity. Homogenization. Fewer languages write arrow fewer distinct cultural flavors. The world starts to sound, think, and act more alike. Reduced resilience. Communities lose the adaptive strategies encoded in language, making them more vulnerable to environmental or social change. Loss of creative inspiration. Writers, musicians, and designers draw on the richness of different linguistic metaphors. A smaller linguistic pool means fewer fresh ideas for global culture. Hash a tiny mindfulness pause. Take a slow breath in, imagining the soft murmur of an elder reciting a story in a language you've never heard. Hold it for a moment, feeling the richness of that unknown world. Exhale, grateful for the diversity that still exists, and set an intention to help protect it, perhaps by learning a new word, sharing a story, or supporting a language revival project. Your turn. Is there a particular language or cultural practice you've encountered that fascinated you? Maybe something from your own region in Pakistan. I'd love to explore it with you.
Okay, thank you. And my next question is, uh, how does learning a new language give insight into unfamiliar traditions?
Absolutely. When you pick up a new language, you're basically opening a backstage pass to the culture that lives behind the words. Here's how that magic works. 1. Word world connections. Many languages have words that capture concepts you'll never find in English. Think of the Japanese asterisk komorbai, the dappled light filtering through trees, or the Hindi asterisk he, jijivisha enos, jijivisha asterisk, the yearning to live forever. Those words instantly paint a cultural picture of what people value, notice, or feel in daily life. 2. Ritual language. Greetings, blessings, and farewells are often tied to specific customs. Saying salam alaikum in Urdu isn't just hello. It carries a wish for peace and is traditionally paired with a gentle handshake or a respectful bow, depending on the setting. Learning the phrase makes you feel the respect built into the interaction. 3. Storytelling cadence. Folk tales, proverbs, and jokes travel in the rhythm of a language. When you hear an Arabic asterisk letter 1e25, IK a Macron YH story, told with its distinct pauses and melodic shifts, you pick up on the communal way stories are shared around a asterisk Majlis asterisk gathering. It's a lesson in hospitality and collective memory. 4. Food talk vocabulary. The names of dishes often reveal cooking methods, regional ingredients, or even the season they're served. In Persian, asterisk kashk-e badinjan literally means the way of eggplant, hinting at the creamy, tangy sauce that defines the dish. Knowing the words helps you understand the culinary tradition behind the plate. 5. Festive expressions. Holiday greetings like asterisk Feliz Navidad or Shub Diwali carry prayers, myths, and shared histories. Using them with the right intonation shows you've tuned into the spirit of the celebration, not just the date on the calendar. Tiny mindfulness tip. Next time you study a new phrase, pause for a breath and picture the context. Who's speaking? Where are they? What sounds, smells, or colors surround them? Let that mental snapshot anchor the words in a lived experience, not just a list to memorize. Your turn. Is there a language you're dabbling in right now? Maybe you've heard a beautiful phrase that sparked curiosity about a tradition you'd love to explore. I'd love to hear about it, and we can dig into the cultural gems together.
Okay, so my next question is, what does the words language is a mean to explore culture means?
Language is basically the key card that unlocks a culture's hidden rooms. Words carry history. A single term can hold centuries old myths, hunting tricks, or moral lessons. When you learn that word, you inherit the story behind it. Grammar shapes thought, how a language orders time, future, past, present versus present, future, past, reveals what its speakers consider most important, whether they focus on the community, the individual, or the flow of nature. Idioms reveal values. Expressions like break the silence, or the Urdu Arabic dal Arabiki Arabic lam Arabic calf Arabiku Arabica Arabiku Arabic lam Arabic Khalif Arabic dal Arabic Beriye. Open your heart. Show what emotions are celebrated or taboo in a society. Ritual language. The specific words used in greetings, prayers, or celebrations act like a cultural script, teaching you how people show respect, gratitude, or solidarity. So, when you pick up new vocabulary, you're not just expanding your mental dictionary, you're stepping into the daily rhythms, beliefs, and worldviews of the people who speak it. Quick mindful pause. Close your eyes for a moment and picture yourself hearing a phrase in another language for the first time. Feel the rhythm of the words, notice any emotions that surface, and let that sensation remind you that each word is a tiny cultural bridge. Asterisk, what's next? Is there a particular language or phrase that's caught your ear lately? I'd love to unpack its cultural layers with you.
Okay, very nice answer, but our conversation time is over. So, bye, Annie.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you, Riem. Take care, keep exploring those language cultural bridges, and drop by any time you'd like to dive back in. Bye for now.
So, everyone, this is my conversation with Colony on the topic language is a mean to explore culture. So, until the next conversation, Allah Hafiz, everyone.